Hello, hello, welcome back to another full flap sim live stream. It's been a while, hasn't it? Thanks for joining, y'all. It's been a second since I've flown on stream or the actual airplane. So this is going to be kind of a back in the saddle stream before I go back to work and just getting some content out to you guys. So I was actually supposed to be flying a trip today, but I had a kind of sinus thing going on, so I had to call out for my trip. But I think it's clearing up, so figured we'd do some virtual flying instead. Shout outs in the chat. Water, welcome, man. How's it going? Joe Plains 737-8. Finally get to tag along right next to me. That must be you in the Canyon Blue 7.3 Max. Pretty cool. Pete Ski, welcome. Yeah, Water, it is a group flight, so go ahead and jump in. We're at Chicago Midway, heading down to Nashville, Vegas. So, Highball 09, welcome, man. Yeah, I loaded real world weather here in Chicago and didn't expect it to be this cruddy, but here we are. So, gonna roll with it. Turk, welcome, man. How's it going? Mock Karen simulations, yeah. For those of you who missed it, part of the impetus for this stream was watching old V1 um, fly the 7.3 this afternoon. I was like, I haven't streamed in a long time, and I'd like to get back to it. So um, glad y'all can join me. We're in 2020. A bit louder on the mic. There we go. Let me know how that is. We're in 2020. Good old yellow sim in the iFly Max. I am working on trying to get 2024 going. But it's kind of fighting back a little. So expect to see some more 2024 content on the channel here soon, TM. But for the moment, we're still in Yellowstone. Two sausage talks in the Basstown. Hey man, great name. Welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you around before. All right, so hopefully the sim sounds. We'll get those turned up here. Sim sounds are coming up, and we will jump in here and get going. So, iFly visual model looking pretty good. We got the rudder blown over by the wind, which is something I haven't noticed before in flight sim. That's actually a pretty cool touch. So, here we go. Jumping in. My WinWing McDo is not currently working with the iFly, which is funny because it's flawless with the NG. So, not sure exactly what's going on there, but we're just going to roll with it. So, battery bus still got the 31 volts for the somehow on the battery bus. We'll get the ground power on, and we'll get the IRSs aligned here. Get the dome light on, just get so it's a little brighter. EEC switches are good. We got more than 1,000 psi on the oxygen. 3 landing gear lights are good. Flight recorder tests good. Airspeed and altitude warning, or airspeed Mach warnings, and we'll test the stick shakers here once we've had AC power established for a little bit. All right, flight controls are down and guarded. Yaw damper can come on. Nav display switches are normal and auto. Cross feeds closed. All the fuel pumps are off. We checked the ground power and got that on online. We'll put APU gen up for when we start the APU. Generators look good. APU RPM gauge is missing on the Max. That's a feature, if you will, of the Max aircraft. We'll get the seatbelt signs on. Wipers we don't need. Window heats can come on. Probes stay off for now. Anti-ice don't need it. Hide pumps. V1 if you're watching right here, right? Engine's on, electric's off. Leave it like that. If you have 4 lights, that's all good. We'll test the voice recorder. Come up here. Trim air can come on. And then we have a smile and a frown. 2 down, smile, frown for the air panel in its default setting there. Water, what gate are we at? We are at gate. Couldn't tell you, man. At the end of the row here. I'm not entirely sure which gate it is. It's right here at the end of the concourse. Oh, I think I just saw you spawn in there, so hopefully that's water. All right. So we got 2 down, smile, frown for the air panel. Let's look at our cruise altitude. SimBrief gave us, let's see, yeah, Simbri says 320 for the cruise altitude, and Nash Vegas's elevation 600 feet. So we'll put 600 in the landing elevation window. There we go. Auto for lights. We'll get the logo on, position lights on. Everything else can stay off. Right ignition for the first flight of the day. After the first flight, you swap it to whoever's the pilot flying. APU will stay off. All the lights, landing lights are off. We'll cancel the recall. We'll get the bearing pointers off. Just get them out of the way. We'll get the flight directors on, starting with the pilot flying. So they have the master light. We'll get our departure information all spun in here in a second. We'll do a quick lights test. Get a lights test going. Check out all of the light bulbs. All right, they all look good. Coming up here, we'll do magic bear ref key to get the altimeter set. Landing gear handle is down. We'll reset the fuel flow. Auto brakes to RTO. Make sure that goes away. We'll check the systems here. We got good tire pressure and all of them, good hydraulic quantity. You want to make sure it's not above 102 and that there's not a refill note there on the systems page. And then other than that, that's all fine. Engines will stay over on the captain's side. I know that some operators swap this back and forth like this, depending on who the pilot flying is. At my company, when I was flying on the A220, the A220 has a very similar setup, and we kept the engine instruments on the left. Just the logic being is that on takeoff, it's the captain's decision to abort, and the engine instruments should be over there, in addition to just building a habit pattern of looking in the exact same spot for the engine instruments at all times. So we're going to keep those over there for us today. All right, we'll check the JipWiz. Team Vodka, welcome in. Test. Howdy, dude. Glad you're here. AJ Fernari, test tickles. Welcome, dude. Thanks for joining, y'all. All right, we got speed brake handle is stowed. The flaps are up. Check the config. Warning, that looks good. Parking brake is set. Cutoff switches are in off. Stab trim cutout switches are in normal. Check the squibs. We got one for the left, right, and APU engine. Check the fault in up. That looks good. And the fire test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lights and the bell looks good. Okay, cargo test also looks good. 108.0, we got that set in the VORs. That looks good. For auto ATC, we're supposed to be squawking 5645. So 5645. We'll put that on TARA now, and transponder to on. And FO is flying, so we'll use number 2. That all looks good. So we are all squared away here, and we can jump into the box and get all set up. Highball, do I prefer the iFly or the PMDG-NG? I'm going to give you the standard answer, man. It depends. I cannot stand the EFB. Now, just to be clear, iFly did a phenomenal job of modeling the EFB that Boeing provided with the early NGs. So the fact that they modeled this so well is a good reflection on iFly. It's just nobody uses this anymore, right? Everyone uses an iPad, much more user-friendly. Digging around this thing is painful, and I find it a little bit frustrating. So that's my feeling on the EFB. I much prefer the PMDG from a sim interaction perspective. That being said, the MAX is kind of growing on me, and I think from a flight model and hand flying perspective, this airplane does have PMDG beat. Also, the FMS is the more up-to-date version, and so I do prefer the iFly FMS to the PMDG. So that said, in real life, I am an NG driver, so the NG holds a special place in my heart. So that's that. All right, starting out in the FMC. Let's see, Zach Lewine, welcome. How's it going? The EFB, yeah, I think it was mounted right there. That's how ours is mounted in the real jet. Um, so yeah, I think it's good. AJ, you're used to it? Yeah, it's. I'm sure as I get used to it, it'll become less of a pain in the butt. But you know, it's just it is what it is. But um, that's not really any fault of the airplane. That's just hard to use what you've got, right? So we put in KMDW. We've got the GPS position plugged in. We'll stick that in the IRS. Now we'll go to the routes page, put MDW here, and we will request our flight plan. Nice to catch a real 7-3 pilot instead of that guy V1. Dude, it is so funny, man. Like, I throw a lot of shade at V1 just because, we're friends at this point. But if I jumped into an Airbus, man, it would be a hot disaster. Um, I actually would love. I'm trying to talk old Big Sim into doing a shared cockpit A320 stream. Um, just to watch how much I kind of hose it away, and then I would love to do the same when he's in the mighty Boeing. So, all right, Route 1 uplink is ready, so we'll hit load. All right, and we'll get this all fired up here. And let's see, activate. We'll go next page and check. Yep, okay, that's all good. So we'll activate, execute. Now we'll go departures and arrivals. We're taking off runway 4 right, and SimBrief didn't file us on a departure. So let's take a look at um, the charts and determine if we need to use a chart here. So if we go MDW, edit clip. And our two options are the Midway 8 or the ND7. Nope, that's an RNAV arrival. So the Midway 8, is that it? And the Cicero 4. Cicero 4. Okay, so we'll grab those and let's take a look. So the Cicero 4 departure, our first fix out of here is CM Sky. So there's CM Sky. Okay, so we might do this one actually. So let's do this. Let's do the Cicero 4. Why is the resolution on this so bad? Maybe if I zoom in. There we go. All right, so all turbojet departures in all directions accelerate to 250 immediately upon entering or outside the lateral confines of the Class B, then maintain 250 until advised. Okay, and then runway 4 right, assigned headings 360 clockwise to 080. Climb on heading 047 to 1.2, then a right turn to heading 100 to 2,400 feet. Okay, so, and then I assume that we're going to get some kind of vector here. All right, so we'll do that. We'll go direct, our departures and arrivals, Cicero 4 off of 4 right. And, okay, it looks like that's in the box, so we can use LNAV for that. And we don't have to build that in the box. Oh, Water says 13 left is the active. Oh, well that sucks. Okay. Is that as fun of a departure? 13 left. That would be going this way. That's straight out. All right. Well, we'll do that then. 13 left on the Cicero. There we go. Basically straight out. Okay. And that says climb on a heading of 138 to 1.2, then continue the climb to 1500 with a top of 3000. All right, so we'll set 3000 in here. There we are, and then 138 was it? Yeah, heading of 138. I'm still getting used to the methodology that iFly uses as far as the click spots here, but once you get used to it, it's actually not bad. So, and then we'll get our bank angle scale up to 30. So we've got MDW departures 13. I'm not sure what they're landing down in Nash Vegas, but we'll say just for right now, we'll say 20 left. Reba, and then we'll figure it out once we get en route. And then the Ryman 2 into there with the Gamma transition. There we go. All right, so the route is all plugged in. So we can go step to our next page here. We'll go perf init. Real world, you'd be able to download this via data link, but in the iFly, I don't believe that you can. So 5.2 for our reserve, and that's going to be the Tyson McGee airport. Oh, come on. This is where FO lives matter too, man. You gotta clean up the click spot for the FMC on the FO side. There we go. 5.2. Cost index 25, flight level 320. That's all fine. Cruise winds off of Simbrief. We're looking 220 at 45. All right, we'll get that set up. ICE deviation is plus 12. It's hot out. All right, so plus 12, and we will execute that. Now we'll go get our winds information. So we'll go legs, route data, winds request. And once that loads, then we'll get that plugged in. There we go. Load. And it should give me an execute. That's funny. But, all right, so we'll go load, execute. There it is. Now we'll go VNav, and we'll go previous page to our forecast, and we'll go descent winds request. Whoa, a couple of super chats coming in here. AJ Fernari, $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. Here's $5. Put it towards getting a WinWing FMC. Dude, I need tech support, man. I've got the WinWing FMC, and it's just not connecting to the iFly. So one more reason that PMDG is GOAT. V1 coming in with a $10 super chat. Sorry I'm late, Chief. What's our climb out mock number today? Oddly, perfect timing. We're just getting ready to do that in the box. It is 250 until advised. Also, the wife says you need an FMC because your mouse DPI is a little slow. Dude, there's a button on my mouse where I can change that, believe it or not. Fun story how I learned that. Okay, so now that V1 is here for his VNav lesson, here's what we're going to do. So the speed restriction was 250 to 10,000 feet, and then 250 until advised by ATC. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 250 in our climb out speed up here, and then we're going to put slash a Mach number so that the jet knows what Mach number we want to transition to. If, say, I just put 250, then the jet would hold 250 knots all the way up to, space. So we're going to do 250 to 0.79, plug that in, and what you'll see is it then gives us this econ prompt, okay? What this econ prompt is it's a one push button way to return to the cost index derived speed. So when ATC says, hey, Southwest 1422, speed your discretion, just hit the econ button and it immediately dumps your econ speed that's determined by your cost index that you put in on the perf-init page. So that's what we're going to do for climb out. Blackbird Controls, $10 super chat. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Using your throttles today as well as the flap and speed brake handles. So I really appreciate that, man. It definitely makes the 737 experience more immersive. I'm pretty sure everyone in my chat knows at this point, but if you haven't already, grab Blackbird Controls 737 levers if you're doing any 737 flying. There's a picture on Blackbird Controls website where he's got a picture of his throttles next to the real 7.3 throttles, and they're indistinguishable. So appreciate the support, man, and go check them out. V1, here's your problem. You're always flying a Mach. Why would it let you delete said Mach? I think that's an iFlyism. I think, but we'll find out. Now, unless if you're cruising below, there's an altitude called crossover or changeover altitude, where if you're going, say, from like Seattle to Portland or something short, and you're only cruising at 14,000 feet, then the box will only give you a an IAS. But going up to the 30s, it should give you the other option. All right, so here we go. 0.79. This FO click spot is killing me here. 0.79 in the cruise speed up there, and then on the descent page, we'll do 0.79 and 300. So this is the same way. It should say 0.79 because if we just descended to 0.79, we'd end up doing 500 knots as we got down to sea level. So we'll say 500 or 0.79 / 300 and put that in the box right there. So okay, so that's all squared away. ATC button, this is where we would do CPDLC so that we could get all of our jazz. Remember, we're going program or progress, VNAV, ATC, departures and arrivals and routes. We already did that. Legs page, we can check. That's all correct. We don't need to build anything in the fix page because the departure is loaded in the box. So we are all squared away. All right, so let's get the APU fired up. So we'll go turn on a left tank pump, and we'll get the APU fired up, and we'll start a timer. So fun fact, the APU takes roughly 1 minute to start. So if you start it and then wait for it to be online and then start a 2-minute timer for the air, guaranteed you'll forget to start the 2-minute timer. So if you just hit the APU, start a timer, then 3 minutes after you hit the switch, you should be able to get bleed air going. So Sandman. Yeah, I agree. Blackbird is the goat of throttle mods, man. I was skeptical when we started out because I don't have any. I try to stay away from niche hardware and things like that, but man, these Blackbird throttles are legit. So if you have a Honeycomb Bravo, pick his stuff up. Highball is at 27. It's at 27,000 feet. Rumor has it that it is 27,000 feet, according to our favorite streamer. And oh boy, chat, what's going on here? My beloved Thrustmaster yoke here is the view hat is starting to give me some issues. We're gonna have to go into the controls menu, and we're gonna have to put a dead zone on the view hat, unfortunately. So just bear with me for a second here. Put a monster dead zone on this. Mickey G told me that was going to happen. All right, there we go. Cool. So you see a minute has elapsed. We're on the APU. We'll get the APU generator cooking, and while we're waiting on the 2 minutes, we can get our performance data. So for cinematic purposes, we're going to do a flap 25. So we're going to do flap 25. Our takeoff gross weight is 154.9, and I'm using the SimBrief performance calculator because iFly doesn't have one built in. We're taking off a 1-3 left for the runway. That's all set. Weather's populated, and it looks like it wants a flap 25 D-rate TO 35. So we'll go D-rate takeoff 35. So we're not doing a fixed D-rate, we're just doing a temperature D-rate. And then we're going to come up here and go 25 on the flaps, plug the CG in. That gives us V1 of 31, VR of 32, and V2 of 42. So we'll spin 42 into the MCP. All right. There we go. And the trim, watch your knees, of 4. This is a real thing, by the way. Of all the 737 critiques, this thing will absolutely smack you right in the kneecap if you don't pay attention to it. So the courtesy watch your knees before trimming is a real thing. There we go. There's 4.08, and there's there's our 3 minutes. We configured the bleed panel. APU bleed can come on. Packs can come on. Isolation valves open. Recircs are on. We are good to go. The dual bleed light is acceptable. All that's telling you is that you have the APU and the left engine bleed on at the same time. That's fine at idle. You just don't want to run the engines up above idle with a dual bleed light. So that is all squared away. Okay, we're set in the box. We've got our squawk in. So we can go ahead and do our pre-push flow, which is pumps, doors. Check the flight deck door. And TCAS, which we have set to auto. ATC is not online, so we can just get rid of our ground services and push. All right, so we'll go systems page, sim menu, ground support. We are on the bus, so make sure it's good practice just to flip these switches before you remove ground power. And we'll get rid of everything here. I will say, for as much flack as I gave the iFly tablet when it first came out, it's growing on me to be more intuitive the more I use it. Let's see, get rid of the cones. Set. All right, let's take a look outside. All right, there we go. Not sure why our rudder pedals are fully, there they go. All right, so let's get out of here. Midway ground, Southwest 14.2, push and start, Bravo 12. All right, off we go. There's our tug. Beacons on, brakes released. We're cleared to push. We're going to start both engines today because it is a short taxi. Yellow sim jump scare. Well, okay. Look, guys. 5 years ago, this was the best looking simulator anybody had ever seen. So I don't want to hear this 2024 apologist yellow sim stuff. Looks great to me. I do have a filter on though to remove the yellow sim on my screen. Alrighty. So we're pushing back. Captain goes start both of them. So we'll go ahead and packs off. Started to ground, hack the clock. Push and start, you fancy. Yeah, man, we multitask here. Doing it Southwest style, too. All right, listen to these Boris sounds here. Look at that. Southwest is pushing off the other gate, too. This is awesome. All right. And set the parking brake. Sim sounds. All right, so we're motoring. These, new generation turbofans got to straighten out the shaft, so to speak. There we go, 25. Not sure when you introduce fuel on this engine, but it's 25 on the NG. So there we go, fuel, spar valves, outside for sounds. Oh man, Boris cooks. All right, isolate, ventilate, because we care about passenger comfort here at Full Flap Simulations, and we want to get the right engine feeding the air conditioning in the back for all the packs. So isolate, ventilate, and crank it number 1. Captain over here doing captain things. Jump over to the working man's seat. Yes, Handman. Boris's sounds are insane. If you haven't already and you own the PMDG, he did a very similar sound set for the PMDG. It's $10 and it totally revitalizes that airplane. Fuel. Look at that little hole in the clouds, the sucker hole clearing up for us. This is fantastic. All right, we're going to come up here and do our after start flow. So generators can come on, probe heats come on, anti-ice. Didn't check the temperature. It is 24. Ooh, all right, no anti-ice required. High pumps are all set. Get the packs set up. That looks good. Coming across here, APU can come off. Don't need it for takeoff. Fuel pumps are all set. Come down here, check the recall, and now we're going to go flap 25 for takeoff. Here we go. Flight controls. Flap operator sim. You know what? I'm considering a rename to flap operator sim. I think that would be more on brand. Look at that. Basically a full flap takeoff. Juice. Love it. All right. Here we go. Park brake is released, and we'll taxi on now. Midway ground, Southwest 1422. Taxi on runway 13 left. All right. Here. Eastern T3. 9-pound super chat. Thank you, man. It's nice learning how to fly 737 off of real pilot, not that V1 fake guy. Dude, I appreciate the support, man. Thanks for tuning in. It's continually humbling to me how that people will tune in and listen to me blab about flying. I really appreciate that. All right, so where are we going here? Let's see. 13 left. So I think we have to cross it, right? Let's see. If only there was a chart we could consult. Or we could just look out the window. I think 13 right is the taxiway now, isn't it? Insert, and I took that personally from V1. Hey, you know what, V1? You're doing a great job for as a fake honorary Boeing pilot. I appreciate the work you're putting in, man. That's funny as hell. All right, here we go. We got to turn the landing light or the taxi lights on. This is captain stuff here. And we're going to back taxi on 13 center. So midway traffic, Southwest 1422. Back taxiing 13 center, midway. All right. Okay, so we taxi out here. Yeah, we'll just taxi out 13 center and then blast off on 13 left. This will work out. All right, so we're waiting for 2 minutes on the engine warm up. And we'll be all squared away. In the meantime, we're taking off LNAV out of here. We can do LNAV off the ground. And we'll do VNAV at 1,000 feet. Oh, you know what, chat? I got to check and make sure that so the iFly defaults to 1,000 or a 1,500 foot acceleration height, and real world, at least at my company, we use 1,000. So, got to verify that these two are set, so it doesn't do anything goofy for us, and that is good. All right, we're done the taxi checklist. Flaps are set, trims are set, so we can do a before takeoff flow. We got continuous, run the auto throttles. Do the throttle slam. That looks good. And transponder is all set. We're squared away. Oh, I'm not on freak. Oh God, what's the freak? Oh no. Chat, what's the freak? CTAF MD KMDW. Oh my God, that's the wrong frequency. KMDW/C. Oh, good Lord. What is the? Let's see. KMDW.CTAF. There it is, 135.2. Oh no, you have to have the. I'm a radio guy in real life too. This is my only job. All right, hang on. We got to stop because I'm going to taxi off the end of this runway here. All right, so wheel spin down sounds courtesy of Boris. 135.2. Next peripheral is a radio panel. There we go, 135.2. Thanks, chat. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks, man. If this Airbus thing doesn't work out, I'm thinking of starting a steakhouse next to my buddy's clone crack gun company. Oh man, dude, that clone crack gun company guy, man. I hear that he knows suppressors really well. All right, let's see here. Where are we going? We're going. Yeah, we're going the second taxiway over there. All right. So we did our before takeoff checklist. We are all set. We're on the right frequency now. Thank God ATC is not online. We've got our engine warm-up time, so we will rehack that. And it looks like we're going to be number 2 behind our company here. Okay. And are we lost? What's everyone doing here? Is it what is going on? We're taking off on 13 left, right? Did I take the wrong taxiway? No, all you guys are wrong. Yeah, look at this, chat. You guys must have gone to the V1 Simulation School of Taxiing. All right, we got a Canadian standoff here. It's a real short runway, so. Oh. No, I didn't taxi down 13 left. I taxied down. No, I taxied down 13 center. We're taking off on 13 left. 13 center doesn't exist anymore. It's 13. Oh, is my CA out of date? Oh, so we want to take off on this. Oh, chat. Okay, so we're gonna spin it around here. Oh Lord. Well, but my FMS is out of date then. Okay. Midway traffic, Southwest 1422. Line up and wait on 13 left, formerly known as 13 center. All right. Well, this is a good way to start the stream here. Tell me you've never been to Midway without telling me you've never been to Midway. Dude, we don't. This is for 717 trash, man. Call the Doug, Bill's Mafia. AJ Fernari, now I know FO's taxi. Dude, that is real life, man. I firmly believe that taxiing is the hardest thing that you can do in an airliner. That was a solid moment of like everybody is messed up but me. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, we got V-Pilot sounds. I don't know why V-Pilot's not, let's see, working here. All right, well, how's that for a lineup? Oh, I'm lined up on my runway. Okay, all right, so we're all good. Okay, here we go. Chat, we're out here. Midway traffic, Southwest 1422, departing runway 13 left / center, midway. All right, here we go. Spool them up, 50, or 40. Forward on the yoke. All right. There we go. They're stable. Toga. There we go. And 1 toga. Might need RAS enabled. Yeah, I know, right? All right, we have a left to right crosswind here, 80 knots, neutral on the yoke. I hope our takeoff performance data is right for this new runway that we're using.
V1.
Rotate. Woo, that's some wind. Get that right aileron in. That's a short runway, positive rate, gear up. Fly with. Woo! Go. Real easy to overspeed the flaps on a flap 25 takeoff here. All right, there's 1,000 feet. We'll select VNAV and get her accelerate. Okay, flap 15. Flap 5. Flap 1. And flaps up and after. This airplane really does hand fly very well. All right, so we're going to do about 10 degrees on the flight director. So you can see here, and this is true to real life, the flight director, you don't really follow it that much. We're going to blow through our 3,000 foot. We're going to keep it climbing here, chat. All right, we're going to go up to 10,000 feet here. You can see that the flight director, you don't really follow it on the acceleration. You use about 10 degrees, nose up, and just, let the airplane accelerate at 10 degrees and then follow it after that. So we're speeding a little bit. All right, after takeoff checklist, we got anti-ice is not required. Air panel is set. We can put those back to off. Cabin looks like it's pressurizing. Gear handle stays up. I wonder how many people have put that to off coming from the NG, or put that down expecting it to be off. Okay, and then we'll go CM Sky up to the top, execute. There we go. LNAV execute, and we'll put 320 in the window here. There we go. 320 set. Oh, come on. 320. All right, there we are. Coming right. This airplane really does hand fly nice. I bet it flies even nicer with a force feedback yoke, so that is definitely on the list of things to grab. Sorry guys, I'm not in the chat real quick, just kind of a high workload takeoff there. Rolling out. Okay, and we're not accelerating because we've got that 250 restriction. But now if we want to accelerate, we can just come down here, go VNAV, hit Econ, execute, and it'll dump the Econ airspeed and Mach number into the target speed window. See, and now, here, let me turn the autopilot on, so Command B. So this speed, Econ speed, is determined by the cost index. So right now we're 289 and 0.78. If we go and change our cost index to, say, 50, now you'll see that change to 301 and 0.79. So, and if we want to round it off to even numbers, like I typically do, 300.79, execute, and now we have the econ prompt to bring us back to the cost index speed. Okay, we're doing it, chat. Here we go. Catching up on the chat. Yeah, Turk might need RAS enabled 100%. Actually, I don't know why it didn't. We've got it in the airplane. I don't know why it didn't pipe up at us. All right. Yeah, SWA definitely needs RAS on their airplanes for sure. Positive rate fly with. Yep. It feels very strange to be watching a stream from the right seat. Crazy sarcasm. So you know what's funny is, I thought the same thing, and I often wondered about flying an airplane from the right seat because I'd never done it before. And now that I've done it, the idea of switching to the left seat and having to fly the airplane with my left hand is a little concerning, maybe, or just seems like that might be something that will be challenging. You know, because the right seat's kind of become my happy place, if you will. Also, the nice thing is that it puts your right hand on the yoke, left hand on the throttles, which is how I flew fighters for, you know, all those years. So it wasn't really that big of a change going to the right seat, especially in the 220 where it was a side stick, and the fighter I was flying at the time had the side stick as well. So it was a very seamless transition. Water, I don't think there's an ANR switch in the iFly. That's on the PMDG. All right, so we're climbing up through 18, so we're gonna get the cockpit all cleaned up here. There we go. Okay. Oh, V1, come on, man. You got one job over here, dude. You forgot all your lights. What are you doing over here? There we go. Don't worry, I got you. I got you, man. There we go. Cool. All right, lights are all squared away. Oh yeah, the iFly does have noise canceling, but it's in the EFB. It's not a switch. There we go. Sync up the heading bug. There's 18,000. We can hit standard. 1, 2, and 3. And wing lights are off. Altimeter standard cross check. Climb check is complete. Bill's Mafia, yeah, PMDG has ANR if you're using the Boris sound pack add-on. So the default PMDG does not, but the Boris sound pack does. So that wing flex looks really nice. The only thing I'm waiting on is I'm waiting on somebody to do some really dirty wing textures for the iFly, because the wing model looks really good, but it's too clean. Okay, up we go. And checking the pressurization as we climb out. Wait, Turk, you can't paint the wings? P3D limitation. Yeah, but this is 2020. Oh, because it's a ported model, they can't paint the wings? Oh, interesting. Well, that's unfortunate. So no iFly repaints are going to have dirty wings. It's all going to be this clean wing. What if there's a registration number on the wingtip? Can you put that in? Okay, so climb it through 21.7. Now I've set the jet to transition to 0.79. See, let's talk about changeover. I could force changeover now if I wanted to by putting slash 0.68 for the Mach. Right? So 300 knots or 0.68, now it's change over to Mach and it's going to climb at Mach 0.68. Or if I go Mach 0.79, now it's still on indicated airspeed. So changeover is not always 26,000 feet. It's a band anywhere between 20 and 30, depending on where the airspeed that you selected intercepts the Mach number you've selected. Is that not how the Airbus works? I don't know. I don't know the Airbus well enough to understand how it does things. Sandman, one of your Southwest liveries has some dirt on the wings. It was from Zaf, I think. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just need to look around because, quite frankly, I haven't been flying the iFly enough to really get into the liveries, and you know, most of the Maxes are fairly new, so they don't get quite as dirty as some of the other airplanes. But yeah, it would be nice if they could add some dirt, you know, and then also on the glare shield here, like just do some overall weathering work for sure. But Crazy Flyer, that's how the E-Jet works as well. Okay. Yeah, now what Big Sim and I were talking about earlier, I think, is what he did was he went like this and just went 310 knots, and the jet took it. And I don't think the actual jet will allow you to do this and put in an airspeed without a Mach number, assuming that you're going up to an altitude where you're going to hit Mach changeover. So I think that's an iFlyism, but on my next trip I'm gonna take a look and see. So 300.79er. Now the other thing is, can we get digital ATIS on this airplane? Maybe it's in the ACARS menu? Yeah, okay. So without digital ACARS, I'm not sure how to figure out the weather at the destination without just tuning in the ATIS and listening to it. Because in the no ACARS. Okay, so in the actual airplane, you hardly ever tune into ATIS, because the first way you get the ATIS is via your iPad, via a weather app. And then if that's not working, then you can go into the box via ACARS and you can data link for the digital ATIS. And then if once you get that, then you can use that information. Short of that, then you would tune into the ATIS frequency on the radio and listen to it. But it's nice to be able to monitor the ATIS from further out. Douglas, .METAR airport on vPilot. Okay, so .METAR KBNA. What? Look at that. Okay. Well, that's cool. Okay, so 210 at 10 gust 19. So I'm assuming that they're probably landing on 2 left, or 20 left. Let's see. Do we even have ATC at Nashville? Let's see. Oh no, looks like ATC's offline. All right, so in that case, let's see. Yeah, we are going to land 20 left, because that's the only one I've ever landed on in Nashville. So we're going to go terminal charts, back up here, back, BNA, edit clip. We're going to go, what arrival did we say? In real life, they're using 20 left and 20 right. Okay, so we'll use 20 left then. So we're going to go Ryman 2. Ryman 2. There it is. Ryman 2, and then ILS to 20 left. And I'll actually show you a way that we can use Route 2 to back ourselves up in the case of a runway change. So we're going to do 20 right and 20 left. Complete. All right, so game plan A is ILS 20 left, Ryman 2. That's what we're going to plan on. The backup plan is going to be, we're going to take Route 1, we're going to hit Route Copy. Okay, that's complete. And now in Route 2, we have the exact same route. So we can go departures and arrivals, BNA, and this one we can select Ryman 2 with the, whatever transition it was, Gamma transition. And we can select ILS to 20 right. This would be a Hickory. Okay, so now you can see that we have 20 left selected as our primary, ILS to 20 right selected as our secondary. And then we can go to the route legs page for Route 2. And typically approach is going to be the one that gives you a runway change, right? It's not going to be from center. So kind of look at this and say, okay, Gamma, we're supposed to be below 230, but they're probably not going to give us a change there. So Ryman would probably be our first fix because we need to be between 11 and 19 there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Ryman. And actually, I'm going to use Gamma just in case because it's a pain to back up the fixes if you delete the wrong one. So we're going to go Gamma up to the top. And we're not going to activate it. We're just going to have this in our FMS, that was going to go, all set. So if they give us a runway change to 20 right, it's already in the box. All right, so now go back to Route 1. So we're squared away there. And now we can set up for 20 left. So it's going to be 201 and 10935. So 201. So a runway change in real life, a lot of people struggle with it. And what I've found is that if you take 5 or 10 minutes and set up for it like this in cruise, when you have nothing else to do, then it takes a lot of the startle factor out when they actually give you a runway change. So 10935. So we go mode to ILS 10935. 0935. And so the way we're going to set this up is the ILS to 20 left is going to be in the top, and then the ILS to 20 right freak is going to be in the bottom. That's going to be 111.3. Okay. Okay, so now we're set up for 20 left. We've got 111.3 for 20 right in the backup. It's still a 201 final approach course, so the only thing that we have to change manually will be the minimums, and that's 778 for 20 right and 751 for 20 left. So we'll set 751 here, and we'll spin this up. There's 750. Whoa, why is that overspeeding on us? We're in the Clacker chat. Why? Okay, so this FMA should have gone to VNAV speed. Click that off. That should have gone to VNAV, or not VNAV speed, to speed hold in the climb, and I don't know why it didn't. So let's try that again. There it is, FMC speed. Okay, so for some reason it never came out of N1 mode, and that's definitely a bug. Yeah, if it ain't clacking, then you're slacking. So that's an iFlyism where it didn't transition out of N1 mode when we got to the top of climb. So, okay, cool. 20 left, is 751, so we've got 7. I was almost there before it started rotor speed on us. Okay, so 751. That should have said on both sides. Okay, so in the NG you can do this. So 751, you can take the control panel and you can go both on 2, and that'll put the barrow over there, and then when you center that switch up again, it should stay. Okay, so it doesn't do it. In the actual jet, you can set the other guy's barrow mids by using the EFIS control panel switch. Kind of a fun one. If the captain's not paying attention, you can set his minimums for him, and then he'll wonder how it got set. AJ, yeah, it might have been because I messed with the mod climb speed, but it shouldn't have been because it's still, if you go into VNav, oh well, yeah, it shouldn't have. It should have been. It should have transitioned. So, all right, cool. So that is that, and then we need the chart view. Yeah, Turk, it's just, there's just some sim, isms with the iFly that bug me. There are some really cool things about it, for sure, on the Break 3, that they modeled that are more up to date than P3, than the PMDG, like the box in general. But yeah, there are just some, it's just not as polished. I mean, say what you will about PMDG, but they usually release a pretty polished end product. Fireflyer, holy crap, someone that knows how to fly a Boeing finally. All right, so as we come up to top of descent, the other thing we want to do is one crew member has to have the VSD, the vertical situation display up. And what this will do is this line just basically tells us how we're doing on our descent with regards to the altitude restrictions on the VNav path. So the other thing that we can talk about is the iFly, and I believe all MAXs in real life use Boeing Common VNav, which means that the airplane will respect geometric path over airspeed. So in the current VNav that at least that my company has, if the airspeed starts running away, the airplane will make the speed restriction and it might be high on path. And that's, you have to be careful because it'll go to VNav speed here and it'll say, hey, I can maintain your speed, but you might be high on profile. The common VNav, and the place that gets people is if they open the speed window. So if they open the speed window, the jet will make this airspeed at the expense of the vertical constraints. In the common VNav that's in the MAX and is an option on the NG, if you're in VNav path and you open the speed window, the jet will still honor the VNav path, and it'll try to make this speed, but if it can't, it'll sacrifice the speed instead of the path. So that's just a little difference between the NGs that I fly and the iFly MAX. The PMDG 777, the PMDG 777 has VNav that more closely simulates what our 737s have, in that when you open the speed window, it goes into VNav speed until you're within 2,000 feet of the initial approach fix, or you extend the flaps to flap 1, and then it goes back to path. So VNav is definitely a quirky beast, and if you don't understand exactly what you're asking for, then you can get into some kind of goofy descents. Diabetic Lad, how's the old potato doing? Just here since streaming while I'm at work seems to be a thing. Sorry, dude. Yeah, the computer's doing pretty good, although, I do run 2020 with FrameGen and Dynamic LOD. I think it's Dynamic LOD, whatever Fractality's mod is. So I think in order to be fair to 2024, I need to try the same thing. So after this stream, I'm actually going to try and get FrameGen set up with 2024. And if it works out and I can get good performance out of 2024, then I might start making the switch now that we have a 737 native to that game, and the FSS 7.2 and the triples. Then I might start making the transition over to 24. But if I can't get the performance nailed down, then we're going to have to stick with Yellow Sim. That train's looking pretty good though. Highball, yeah, VNAV absolutely confuses people, man. It's like the old, well, what's the jet doing now? That's the Boeing's kind of. If you're going to get confused in a Boeing, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be with the VNAV descent. So we'll let the packs roam for a little bit. I am excited to hopefully one day fly a MAX. The more screen real estate is definitely a benefit. Although I find it funny that there's just this big black nothingness right here. You'd think that could be used for something. All right, so we're going to go get all set up. So we're doing a landing competition with old Big Sim here, so we got to use flap 40. So we built it in the box. We bugged it twice. Break it, brief it. Let's verify it in the box. So we're going to get dropped off at Suhler. So let's see where the Ryman. Okay, so yeah, this is going to bring us down to 4,000 feet out here, and then we'll just extend the line off Reba into Nashville. All right, so that's a pretty simple low energy arrival. And then we're going to put our idiot rings in here. So we're going to go KBNA. And we're going to go 15 DME and 10 DME. There we are. Squared away. Swarm, is that right? No, the clock pops up here. I was talking about this big black rectangle down below, right here. I don't know if you could put Netflix or something right there. Or... Oh, highball. That's for CPDLC. Interesting. Okay, so CPDLC shows up right there. That would make sense. So then your clearance or anything would come up there. Nice. I kind of wish we had CPDLC modeled in Sim. All right, watch your ears. We're heading outside, y'all. What's the best angle for a 7.3? I always like this. Kind of the down in the head view, kind of like that. Oh wait, Turk, there is CPDLC in 2020 or 2024, like on VATSIM. Nah, Water, I wouldn't do that to you. This is a pro streaming channel right here. This is we're professionals. That's cool on VATSIM radar, just seeing the conga line of airplanes heading down. All right. Yeah, so Nashville, let's see. Why is it red? Let's see. Nashville departure. It's going to be on 1935. It looks like. All right, so 1935. There we go. 1935. And then 22.8 is CTAF, right? There we go. Cool. You know, I understand that the Airbus is probably, well, is better from a comfort and passenger perspective. But as far as a pilot's airplane with everything being very logically laid out and coming easily to hand and, you know, being comfortable to fly, Boeing nailed it in 1967 with this thing. Really is a good place to go to work. All right, so progress about 50 nautical miles out from the top of descent, so we'll sit the passengers down. Tell Turk to get back in his seat. Check the recall. Make sure that nothing popped up for us. See, I said the magic words and V1 pops back in the chat. Dude, the cockpit of the 7.3 is, and Mickey G, back me up on this. You're a Boeing driver. Once you're in the seat and sitting down, it's a very well laid out cockpit. As far as visibility goes, as far as where all the controls go, you know, it's a pilot's airplane. It's not a passenger's airplane. It's not a comfort airplane. But from a pilot's perspective, Boeing got it right. Also, the A320 folks at my company say that the 737 seats are significantly more comfortable than the A320 seats. They said that the 319 and 321 seats are way better, but the 320 in particular has apparently awful seats. I don't know. I've never sat in one, but that's just what they say. Oh, Vodka, are you using the CRJ 2.0 or 3.0? Highball. Yeah, there should be a like button, man. Somewhere down there. If you could give her a smash for me, so to speak. I'm not sure, Highball, but given Stephen Hayner and Turk's replies, I think so. Yeah, sheepskin. The sheepskin is pretty fantastic. Do you guys have was it like the blue pinstripe seats? I thought all Airbuses had those. Hmm. I got too much traffic. What you talking about? Too much traffic. Oh, we will set the TCAS for below for descent there and cruise. So I always set the TCAS to below and cruise just because if you pop an engine, you really care about traffic below you. You don't really care about traffic above you. They may have the dentist chairs. You can have sheepskin. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See, Mickey G? Or CV1? Mickey G agrees. I always thought Boeing was well laid out. It's well laid out because there's no more space to put anything. It can't be laid out wrong. And Mickey G flew the OG, the 707. V1, yeah, we do, but we got them from some Chinese carrier that had 4 radios, multiple cockpit cameras, and a complete second ILS antenna. Whoa. Do you guys, will they eventually get retrofitted to kind of fleet standard, or do you just fly them as they are? Because we've got some Max, or not Maxes, some 900s from like an Indonesian carrier, I think, and they're all completely different. Bill's Mafia, yeah, more airplaney is a good way to say it. I think the I don't know. I mean, just the way that everything is laid out. The one thing I do wish is the 220 had the radio panels up here, and I really like that. Um, I would almost prefer to swap a radio panel in for this EFIS panel because, like, this could be down here, no problem. But to have a radio up in your line of sight, um, where it's really easy to check freaks. And then the other thing that was really cool is you could look over, um, the other guy's radio panel very easily when they were up here, and um, that was a good feature, I think, having the radios up in your line of sight. So fleet standard, what's that? Yeah, yeah, that's fair. You just got an auto ATC descent to 230, did I? Oh yeah, so did I. Okay, descend and maintain 230. All right. Thanks for keeping me honest. And that was at a pilot's discretion, or is that a? Let's see. Indy Center advises descend and maintain 230. Okay, so in this case, we have to descend now. So what we can do is we can go VNAV and descend now. So you can hit that, or you can alternatively just press the Alt Intervene button and start on down. So what this is going to do is this is going to descend us to 230 at 1,000 feet per minute until we intercept the vertical path that VNAV calculated. The other thing we want to do is we want to go to the forecast page. It doesn't look like we're going to use anti-ice, so you can leave these blank. But it was hot outside, so we're going to put ISO plus 12 in here and execute that, and that'll help us with the VNAV path intercept. All right. PD down to 230, 310 in the transition. Okay, so in the transition, we can go descent page. We're going to descend at 0.79 Mach until the airspeed gets to 3 hundo, and then it's going to hold 3 hundo. They didn't give us a speed, so we'll do 310 just for Boeing go fast purposes. Oh, that's another way that you can do this is, so if you just want to change the airspeed and not the Mach, you can put /310, and it'll hold the Mach and change the indicated. There we go. Just put in 310. Okay, so no slash. Okay, so that would not do that in the real jet, because now it's going to try and bump it up to 310, which is in the barber pole. That's a bug. It's got high-speed protection, so it's not going to put us in the barber pole per se, but it's going to put us right next to it. And if you picked up any kind of, bumps, then you'd be right in the clacker. There we go. Down we go. 10 degrees down, bubble. All right. Need to be below 23 by gamma, which we got that made. So you can see down here, you can see our VNAV path. There's 230 at gamma, so graphically you can see that we're gonna nail that no problem. There we go. Whoa, Turk, spitting some oh man, highly contested information there. Wait till V1 Sim finds out a lot of McDo values in Phoenix are dummy values. You can put 9999 in most of them. Seems sus, man. Got an anti-Phoenix conspiracy theory going on here. All right, down to 230. In the meantime, we're going to start up flight recorder and G's. Hey V1, what was your landing rate? What are we trying to beat here? It's what, 500 feet a minute? Team Amir in shambles. Man, hey, big Phoenix update win. 270. Okay, 270. Yeah, we can beat 270. That's no problem. Is this what do you think? Is this landing one of the V1 full flap landing challenge? What do we think, chat? 1,000 to go. I'm gonna keep the descent going, even though, because I mean, I don't know. Auto ATC is going to leave me higher than snot, so I'm just going to keep the descent going down to 4,000 feet, down to the bottom. All right, chat, hit that like button if you want this to be the first landing in the full flap V1 landing contest. Because we've got a pretty good percentage, actually. We got 63 watching and 45 likes, so I appreciate you all smashing that that like button. All right, so FMC speed, VNAV path, 310 knots in the transition. Okay, and now you can see, let's say that ATC gave us, we're approaching 18, so let's say approach gave us the other runway. All you do is you go route 2, legs. We're past Gamma, so you would take Ryan, put it up to the top, hit activate, and then execute, and then you would be on the path to the other runway. So we're not going to do that though. We're going to go activate, execute route 1. But that's how you would do a runway change if you got it, and then all we would have to do is swap the nav radios, update the mins, and done. Why are we climbing? iFly, you're dead to me. So apparently our VNAV path went away. That's not right. All right, VNAV. There we go. VNAV speed, but we're not in descent mode anyway. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna click off the auto throttles. We're gonna go level change, and we're gonna have to manually make that next fix at Ryman. Purchase online. Okay. Perfect. 119.35. 119.35. We're up. Okay, so apparently switching to Route 2 jacks up your VNAV in the iFly, because that would not happen in the real jet. Let's see, we're going to put a... Not sure how to fix that. How to force it into descent mode. Try that. But we should have a little descent cue right here. So if I go VNAV, what's it do? It should say VNAV speed. So that thinks it's in climb. Maybe we can recruise it. Let's try that. Let's recruise it at 180. There we go. There we go. All right, auto throttle back on. Woo! 20-degree down bubble. Here we go. Whites and Williams, I'm not seeing your flight number. I know it may not be a major concern. Are you working ATC? Let me see here. Nashville approach, Southwest 1422, descending via the Ryman 2. Try it again here. Nashville approach, Southwest 1422.
Southwest 1422, Nashville approach, ident.
With the flash, Southwest 1422. Alright. There we go. Alright.
Southwest 1422, radar contact 51 miles northwest of the Nashville airport. Nashville temperatures 294, expect the ILS runway 20 left approach, or correction, right approach.
Okay, 20 right for Southwest 1422. Okay, so as if to demo what I've got set up here, he wants us on the right. So we'll go
heading
route 2.
Vectors for the approach.
We want, let's see, Ryman. Okay, so we'll activate execute. All right, there we go. So now we're on route 2. We'll flip the nav radios. Course is already set. And now we'll go 20 right is 778 on the D8 on the minimum, so 778. There we go, and we're all set up for 20 right, and it wasn't a hair on fire emergency, you know, like it tends to be for some folks. All right, so I've got the speed window open at 280, and the speed brake's out just to go down and catch our path, which it looks like we're catching up to. And then once it catches that, I'll close the window, put us back into VNAV path. Oh, up here? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why that's not showing up as on the PFD. That's a good point. I'm not sure why. All right, there's VNAV path, so we can close the speed brakes, close the speed window back. And it looks like at peaky, it's trying to slow us to 240. Is that correct? Let's see. It doesn't have a speed restriction on the star, so that might be a VNAV. Okay, so it just thinks we're going to be down at 10,000. All right, that's fine. Starting to slow us. All right, here come the lights.
Rear wings 2034, turn left heading 230, join the runway 20 left low closure.
Left 230, join us 20 left low closure, rear wings 2034.
It isn't showing up because I didn't put it on the init page. I thought I did.
Rear wings 2034, you're 10 miles from Judd. Maintain 3,000 until established. Cleared ILS runway 20 left approach.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So that auto loads in our data link. So I didn't check it. There we go. Okay, the other thing is we're going to need a VREF additive of, it's half the headwind, all the gusts, so it's 9 knots of gust, 5 knots of 10 knots of headwind. So we'll do a 5 knot add plus a 9 knot gust. So we'll do plus 14 on our VREF, which plus 14 is maybe 150. Okay, so we'll have 10 knots to flap speed. That will be fine. Okay, so we should be down around 10,000. Jonal above 9. And the speed should be clicking up. So here's where you can add power manually with the arm function. This little filled in green circle means that the jet is predicted to meet.
They just changed the option in real life. I can give you the option of the ILS or the visual, your choice.
We're all set up for the ILS. We'll just stick with the ILS 20 right for Southwest 1422.
Spirit Wings 2034, contact Nashville Tower 118.6, have a safe landing.
18-6, okay, Spirit Wings 2034.
Okay, so Obate, and then cellular. Okay. Okay. So we're coming up on the VNAV path here.
Nashville approach, good afternoon. Southwest 1675, we're checking in on the RIM 2 arrival.
That sounds like some water.
Southwest 1675, Nashville approach, ident.
Oh, Bill's Mafia, you're right.
1957.
I turned down the sim sounds. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Yeah, I turned it down to be outside. Forgot to turn it back up again. Appreciate it.
Southwest 1422, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000, Southwest 1422. All right, so we've got 4,000, level change. We'll fire VNAV, down we go.
Aircraft, who's the one descending?
Southwest 1957, descending through 11,000 on the Ryman 2 information call.
Southwest 1957, ident.
Okay, we'll use a little speed brake here.
Southwest 1422, turn left heading 110, vectors for the approach.
110 on the heading, Southwest 1422. All right, 110 in heading select. And we're off the approach, so we can take, looks like Hickory.
So there's 1957, expect the visual
So we're
approach.
going to go legs,
0, right.
Hickory, Hickory to the top, 201 heading, inbound, intercept course, execute. And we can see here with the old green banana that we need to be at Hickory by 4, and we're going to be down significantly earlier. So we can actually cool it with the boards a little bit. The Neo option stream, no engine sounds. All right, we got all the lights squared away. 10,000 feet. We've got 111.3. 111.3. That's all set. Flight nav instruments are verified. The cabin notification is complete.
Southwest 1675, expect the visual approach, runway 20 right.
All right, you can see our green banana's past Hickory now, so we're going to adjust the boards just to keep that just inside of Hickory.
And 1675, when able to squawk is 0570.
0570.
Water getting yelled at. Because remember, we also need to slow down, so we've got a little bit of room here to get down to 210.
National approach, good afternoon. Career track 646, descending Ryman 2, passing 12-7.
Career track.
Career track 646, Nashville approach, ident. Southwest 1675 at 0507.
I think he's going to forget about his chat.
Career track 646, radar contact 39 miles northwest of the Nashville Airport. Expect the visual approach, runway 20 right.
Slowing to 210.
Right, career track 646.
And Southwest 1675, squawk 05.
1,000 to go.
0570.
Flap 2.
Oh my, I'm losing my brain. It's 0507.
0507.
Jet shouldn't climb like that.
Southwest 1422, Turn left heading 230, join the runway 20 right, low advisor.
Confirm left 230.
Again, I'm losing my brain. Right 230.
All right, right turn 230, join the low, Southwest 1422. All right, 230. It's all good. All right, 230.
Southwest 1957 for now, maintain 180 knots.
So he flew us through it. That's all right. So we'll go 230
200.
and join the loc. Actually, not yet. We'll get to the heading first.
Southwest 1957,
All right.
turn left heading now, 110.
There's Altiquire, 210, speed brakes coming in. We are, yes. This will be a full flap landing, flap 40. Using flap 2 as a drag device to help get us down.
Southwest 1422, you're 9 miles from Aubrey. Maintain 4,000 until Southwest, cleared ILS runway 20 right approach.
All right, 4,000 until Southwest, cleared for the ILS 20 right approach, Southwest 1422. Okie doke. So we're cleared the approach. So we'll go.
200 is all.
Select the
maintaining 200.
final approach fix altitude, which is 2,000.
Southwest 1957,
And we'll labs it.
4,000.
So we've got LA. So lateral mode altitude, VNAV with the speed window open. We can start slowing to 180. All right, there comes flap 5. And we'll go flap 10. Oh, that's there we go. There's flap 10.
Disregard.
Okay, Hickory. Let's see.
Contact Nashville Tower.
Once we're past ACOF, we can select approach. Cleared us for the approach. Or cleared us to land, rather, we'll say. All right, so in 3 miles, we can select approach mode.
Southwest 1957, the field's at your, let's go 3 o'clock, 17 miles, reporting budget.
So you can see here that our ILS glide slope is below the VNAV path. So if we just selected approach mode here, there's a potential that we could bust the ACOF altitude restriction by a couple hundred feet. So what we might have to do is we may have to, once we're past ACOF, we may actually have to go vertical speed mode and descend a little bit to go get the glide slope. We'll see. But this is why we didn't just hit approach mode, because if I just hit approach mode, you can see that we would be below the VNAV profile and therefore below the fix at ACOF. All right, towers 18.6.
About 12 to 1 o'clock in 16 miles.
There we go. Nashville Tower, Southwest 1422, 20 right.
Southwest 1422, Nashville Tower low, 20 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 20 right, Southwest 1422. All right, we've got approach mode. It captured it. The mist is at 4,000. So we'll set 4,000, gear down, flap 15. Start switches to continuous. We're clear to land. We can roll it back to, we set a 14 knot add, so 154. All right, flap 25.
Traffic.
Flap 30. And flap 40 and a landing check. We got gear down, speed brakes are armed. Start switches are continuous. And flaps are 40-40 green. There we go. All right. Wind check.
Traffic.
21014, gusting 23.
Copy. All right, so 7 and 7, 14. Yeah, so the ad still stays the same. Maybe 153. There we go. All right, here we go. We got, we're Recorder is running. G's is running. We're at 1,000 feet.
1,000.
Match the throttles up. All right. Oh boy. All right. Oh, chat. They parked us on top of a guy. Well, that might be my AI traffic. So we're just going to fly through that guy and ignore him, because tower said we're clear to land. So.
Glide slow.
Got some autopilot binding shenanigans going on
Glide
here.
slow.
All right.
Glide
go.
slow.
Fly through this guy. Not to worry about him. All right. Airspeed's all over the place, chat. All right, there we go. We'll recover from that. There it is. Stable approach leads to a stable touchdown, right? It's real gusty.
100.
Okay.
50.
Keep it coming down.
40. 30. 20.
Close them
10.
out. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. There we go. Speed brakes are out.
Southwest 1957, that's for Terra.
Speed
Hello,
brake.
runway 20 right, clear to land.
Right, clear to land, Southwest 1957.
Get on the manual brakes, 80 knots. Next slide, please. Did it stutter for you guys? It was butter for me. Although I didn't see what G said. We'll have to take a look at the replay. All right, we'll get off the runway here. Start the clock. Ignition comes off. I'm going to leave the lights for the replay. Flight director mode can come off. Auto brake disarm. EFIS panel. We'll go reset the minimums. VSD off. Go terrain to get the radar out of the way. Speed brake up. Flaps up. And transponder stays on for VATSIM. Oh, the 2080 is crying. And then the other thing we can do is we can go mode to VOR and swap those in. There we are. Oh, chat, we're off the taxiway. Oh, man. Once again, this is why first officers don't taxi. Bill's Mafia, because I didn't plan on doing this stream on VATSIM, and then it was a last-minute change, and I screwed it up. Diabetic Lad, my guy, I've seen pictures with higher frame rates. That's awesome.
1422,
All right.
contact ground point now.
Ground point 9, Southwest 1422. All right, 21-9er. Ground Southwest 1422 on Bravo for the terminal.
Southwest 1422, yeah, hold position.
All right, hold position, Southwest 1422. All right.
And Southwest 1422, taxi to the gate via Bravo, Lima, Tango 4, cross 31 at Bravo.
All right, Bravo, Lima, Tango 4, cross 31, Southwest 1422. All right, Bravo, Lima, Tango 4. Where the heck is that? Let's see. Bravo, Lima, Tango 4. Okay, got it. So we'll cross the runway here. All right. Here we go. Lights are all on. Kind of want to watch everyone else landing, but I'm too busy taxiing here. Let's see, who's that? That was... Is that water? Did I miss the career track landing? Oh, shoot. Missed everybody. All right, we're cleared across 3-1. Lima's up here, right-hand turn. We'll go ahead and fire up the APU. engine cool down is complete. Starting the APU. Okay, water's on approach. Okay, cool. So we have time to catch everyone landing here. Does the ND have an airport map? No, it does not. At least not on the iFly that I can tell. The 220 had the option, but we didn't buy it, so. And we'll get him out of terrain mode. Yeah, Water's got his rig up now, I guess, with a Xbox controller and all. Water, are you on 20 left or 20 right?
Bravo taxi to Charlie 21.
Southwest 1957, National Ground, we'll go to Nashville. Taxiing to the gate.
Alright, we're off the brakes. Get the APU transferred over.
Bravo Lima Tango 4 cross 31 at Bravo, Southwest 1957.
Alright, we'll just pick a random gate here. We got our cooldown time, engine 2 coming off. Left pack off. That'll open the isolation valve. We'll OJ, or kill 2. Oh, is that V1? Yeah, V1 cameo in the banana bus. Look at that. Had to get a 320 on stream. Whoa, what happened over there? Got someone going off the runway? Look at this. That's Water and his Xbox controller. Yeah, is that a banana? Is that a V1 cameo? Okay, coming in here. Oh, chat, the scenery failed me. This is actually a third-party Nashville scenery, and the floating jet bridges are killing me. All right, that's good enough. There we go. Set the parking brake. Set the parking brake. There we go. Parking brake set. And then we would let them up and shut them down. I'm going to keep them running for replay. Turn off the anti-collision light. Shut off the fuel pumps. Okay. Joe Plains, you were the first one to land behind me. Okay, so I missed Joe Plains. Career track is off the runway. Let's see. So there's Joe Plains taxiing in.
Ground, Delta 1548, it's pushback. That's our discretion.
Alright, so Joe Plains is taxiing in.
Definitely will go for that.
Career track went zipping off the runway. Is this career track right over here? Yep. AJ, no, this is flightsim.to-BNA. I may need to get the feel there of BNA because this is quite underwhelming. Alright, so there's vodka and career track. That'll buff out. That doesn't look like any damage. Then who's this? Southwest 1675 on short final. Are we going to get there in time? Oh, come on. A little bit of float. Ooh, that looked greasy. Wheels up. Oh, are we going around? We going around? Oh, chat, we're going around. Ooh, vodka got 153. Yeah, Southwest 1675 went around. What happened there? All right, let's see. Who else we got coming? Is that it? All right, that's it. Do I see someone else out there on final? Oh, don't get the failure. Okay. All right, I think that might have been it. I don't see anyone else.
Ground crew check 646 just turned
All right.
on.
So we're going to disconnect and check out the replay.
646 Nashville.
So disconnect, and we'll fire up the replay. Replay. Pause. There we go. And resume. Stick shaker's going to be going off. Nuts. There we go. Oh no, water had a WASM crash on final. Alright, V1, we're going to see. We're going to check out the landing right now. So we got the, let's see here. We got the hydraulic pumps are on. Stick shakers. Why are my flaps not going down? Oh, it's because engine number 2. I shut down engine number 2. There it is. There we go. Alright, now we gotta back up the replay. Alright, so we'll back up the replay, resume, and now I gotta get G's going here. Alright, so what were we trying to beat? We were trying to beat 270? I think we got it, chat. I think we got it. Okay. This is why Airbus doesn't allow FOs to have tillers. Oh, you gotta re-extend them. Okay. Eamon Burke coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. Helping with the payware scenery fund, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Thanks for the support, man. I'll have some better looking scenery for y'all in our next stream, I think. Here we go. All right, we got. No, I didn't. I landed flaps 40. Were you not watching? We were flaps 40 with a huge additive. Get out of here. Fake news. Fake news streamer right there. I think we buttered it. There we go. There we go. The flap's coming down. Okay. Arm the speed brakes. Get the parking brake off. Okay. All right. There we go. Here we go. So this is from Turk's point of view here in the back. Got G's up. Check, close, hold the attitude. Ooh. Ooh, chat, that looked firm. Chat, that looked really firm. Did we bounce? No, we didn't bounce, did we? V1 with a $2 super chat. That's a euro for future reference. Thanks, man. Wow, I look real uncultured, don't I? Chat, I'm a little concerned. I think we bounced. I think we smashed and bounced. Oh boy, here we go. Why isn't G's connecting? Oh, we're looking good, chat. We're looking good. We're looking... Oh, that wasn't a smash. Come on. Oh, it was a bounce, though. What? Oh, because my spoilers didn't deploy. Okay, this is also... The speed brake should also deploy with reverse. No, this is iFlyism. What? Hang on, why? Of course, G's wouldn't connect when I. Yeah, I think I smashed it, chat. Pause replay. Back it up. My recorder's also all gray. I think maybe a sim connect crash or something. All right, replay. What do we think? What does the chat think? Does the chat think that it's harder than 270? There we go. It's working now. Oh no, I closed it out again. Chat, I'm an amateur here. Jeez. Oh, 200, chat. Do you see that? How do I make it look? Make it show up on the screen. There we go. 200. V1 Sim with check out V1 Sim on YouTube for pro pilot Boeing flights. No, chat. Look at this. Look. All right, pause replay. Back it up. Reset G's. Resume. 270. 270 was the number to beat. I'm gonna close this. All right, chat. We needed 270. We didn't specify a dice boat landing. Bill's Buffy. Okay, all right, V1. Here comes the replay with G's. No, 75 feet, but there is no handicap. You're a real airline captain. Look at this. And 202. With a bounce because iFly doesn't know how to deploy the speed brakes. No. Okay, so 202 feet per minute with a bounce, but the bounce I'm calling an iFlyism because the speed brakes weren't out. So I won. So it's full flap 1, V1 0 for the first landing in our landing competition. What do you mean it doesn't count with a bounce? That that was never in the rules. We'll settle this in Sandstorm. All right, chat. Well, hey, thank you for joining me on this stream in the iFly 7.3. We're gonna have to revisit the landing competition, but just we're gonna screenshot this 202 feet per minute against V1's 270. So I'm currently calling it 1-0. So we'll back the replay up, get flashback playing, and we will see y'all on the next one. I appreciate all your generous super chats, y'all. V1, Bill's Mafia in the house. We got Eamon Burke. I'm scrolling through the chat window like an amateur here. Blackbird Controls, AJ Fernare. Yep, Bill's Mafia. Thank you all for all of the support getting this channel off the ground. I really do appreciate it. So hope to see you on the next one. We'll do more Boeing stuff, and then might do an Airbus stream as well with V1 on the jump seat to keep me honest. So cheers. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. See you on those flaps 40.